Now that you know what APA is, let's look at some necessary vocabulary. When you take the exact words from a source, you are using a direct quote and would need to cite it the way that it's done here. Notice the author's last name, followed by a comma and then the year of publication, and another comma, and then the page number or the paragraph number. When you are not taking the exact words, and instead you've simply used their ideas, we call that paraphrasing. You paraphrase when you're summarizing as well. And in this particular case, you do not need to add a page number. When we paraphrase or summarize, we only include two pieces of information in the brackets, the author's last name, comma, and the year of publication. Here are some reasons why you should use a citation. So to review, there are two main types of in-text citations. The first is a direct quotation when we're taking exact words. Usually, your quotes will be integrated into your sentences. In that case, they're probably 40 words or less. If, however, you have a longer quote, you would separate that, isolate it from the body of the essay, indent the entire quote, and cite it without quotation marks. When we're paraphrasing, we put the author's words in our own words. We don't use any quotation marks, and we only include two pieces of information in the in-text citation, the author's last name and the page number. Sometimes it can be difficult to decide whether you should paraphrase or use a direct quote. My rule of thumb is when the exact words are necessary, use a quote. But when it's just the idea that is important, try to paraphrase it. You always want your writing to be mostly your words. Good examples for a direct quote would be an emotional quotation with strong language that is unique to the author, or perhaps some data, statistics, something that would validate your argument. When you are paraphrasing, you're changing the words, but you're keeping the meaning. It's important that you remember to create your own sentence. Though you're replacing words in the source, you don't want to just plug in a few synonyms and keep the exact same sentence structure that was there. Create your own sentence structure and keep the meaning. Take a moment and read this short excerpt on slum tourism. See if you could paraphrase this. Take a moment to compare these two examples of paraphrases of that short excerpt on the last slide. You'll notice in the good example that the author has kept the meaning but paraphrased and used their own sentence structure. Whereas in the second example, they've simply chosen words in the sentence and found a synonym and plugged it in. Oftentimes when we do that, it's not the correct synonym. And paraphrasing involves keeping meaning but using our own sentence structure. Next slide is an example essay that has been annotated to show you certain parts. I'd like you to look closely and notice how the author cited information. Certain sections are clearly paraphrased while others are direct quotes. When you look at this example, you can see that the first paragraph begins with a direct quote. We know that because we can see the author's name and year, and we also see a page number. Whereas the second sentence is clearly paraphrased information, because when we look at the in-text citation, there's only two pieces of information there, the author's last name, comma, and the year. We are also being reminded in the second paragraph that anytime we use an abbreviation, such as SET, we need to use the exact words the first time for our reader. And then we can use the abbreviation for all the following times that we use it. And my final tip, When you are doing an in-text citation and you've got more than one author, remember to use the and symbol.